What's up everybody, this is France over here from PE Nintendo and PlayerEssence.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at Sonic Boom for the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U. I got plenty of time to play both games at this year's E3, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with the Wii U version, and we're going to start off with the gameplay. Now basically the gameplay, it's like a standard beat 'em up style of game as far as from the levels that I've played. Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, think something around that lines. And what you do is you can use 2 characters and sometimes even 4 characters, whether it's Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, or Amy. You go through, you beat up bad guys, you kind of solve, you know, little basic puzzles, things along that nature. You kind of run up walls, there's platforming, there's kind of all sorts of stuff with the gameplay. It's pretty dynamic at times, but then again, the pacing of the gameplay seems a little off in some of the levels. You know, you'll be beating up people, then sometimes you have long stretches of platforming that necessarily don't control the best, but they're still kind of fun to do at times. It's kind of one of those things where you have to play it to kind of get your feel of it, and as far as how it was, I didn't really like the pacing too much as far as the gameplay goes, but I only played a few levels, so it can definitely change it around. But the gameplay overall, I think the concepts behind the gameplay is okay, but the controls are kind of what hamper it, and let's just go ahead and transition right into that. So basically how the controls work, it's basically a standard beat 'em up. You know, you're going to just go in, you're mashing the button, you're just beating people up, but there's really no variety or depth in the controls. I mean, you're not pressing multiple different buttons to do different combos or anything like that. You have a lasso whip that you can use the A button to kind of swing enemies around and throw them back at, you know, certain bosses and stuff like that. But other than that, there's really no combo variety in the controls, and that's a bit of a bummer because I was thinking that they might add something like that. It is meant to be more of a simple style of gameplay, but hopefully they can add some more dynamic controls in there, because I think the gameplay as far as the concepts and ideas is solid, but the execution with the controls and the pacing, that is really not that solid. So hopefully they can add a little bit more variety to the gameplay, the pacing can be sped up just a little bit more, and the controls can be shut up, because if they do all of that, then Sonic Boom on the Wii U can be something special. But as far as right now and how it's playing right now, it definitely needs some more work. Graphics wise, the game is actually pretty good, but kind of. The game is not finished, obviously. Some levels look like pre-alpha build where there's all sorts of like jaggies and the models don't look that great, and it doesn't look anything like what they've shown us as far as media wise or trailer wise. And then another level looks great. It looks pretty much the same as what they've shown us in the, you know, the trailers and stuff like that. So they obviously need to shape up the graphics more, and they need to, you know, polish things up. And you know, they let me know that too, like, hey, this is not done yet, we still got plenty of work to do. The game does come out in November, so I can understand that. But if it goes off the graphics that I saw with all of the characters, because there was one level where it was Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and Amy, that level looked great. It seemed like that level was finished as far as graphics go, and the controls maybe even felt a little bit better, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So if they can get the whole game to that level, then it'll be cool. I have confidence that they will, but they still need to address the controls, they still need to address the pacing and the gameplay, because like I said, the concepts are solid, and I really like what they've done as far as being able to switch. I mean, you can switch characters on the fly, they all have their own powers. Like Sonic does some really cool combos and stuff like that. Knuckles is a brute, Amy has her hammer, but Amy does feel a bit slow in her combat. I thought she'd feel a little bit quicker because she's more of the agility type of person, but her combat is very slow when she fights, and I know that's a big hammer to swing around, but I thought she might be a little bit quicker. So hopefully they can speed up Amy a bit, and as far as her attacks go, because otherwise then you have Knuckles and Amy that both are kind of slow. Tails is a little bit quicker, but Sonic is really the speedy character. So hopefully they can, you know, just make Amy a little bit quicker, they can speed her up a bit, and I'd be happy with that, because I actually like her combos and her moves. But anyway, let's go ahead and we're going to move on to the Nintendo 3DS version. That version is probably more polished and more solid than the Wii U version, but only because they subtract so many different things. Gameplay wise, it's a 2.5D type of game, but what I don't like about it really off the back is that it's not 60 frames per second. These games on the Nintendo 3DS, you know, if you're going to make a game like a Sonic game, I would kind of like that smoothness of 60 frames per second, and the art style, what they did, they went for a full 3D polygon look, and I understand that it's part of, like, you know, what they want to do with the Wii U version, or maybe part of what they want to do with the animation as far as they want that 3D look, but I really think they should have went with the animated, maybe even cell shaded style of graphics, just so they don't have to render so much, so they can speed up that frame rate, because not that 30 frames per second or whatever it's running at, it's not 60, not that it feels too slow, but then again, for portable, I would just like that smoothness, because Super Smash Bros. controls for the Nintendo 3DS, that style of smoothness when you're playing. I would like that for a Sonic game on a portable, so hopefully they can do that. The Wii U version of course, is 30 frames, or it felt like 30, maybe even a little bit lower with dips, and especially with the camera angles, but hopefully they can shore up both of those, you know, later down the line, especially with the 3DS version. But as far as the gameplay goes, it's pretty cool. You get 4 characters on the Nintendo 3DS version. They have an exclusive character. Her name is Styx, yeah, and she has a boomerang that she can throw, and you can switch between each one of the characters to solve different puzzles, use Tails to fly up, use Sonic to speed dash and break through certain things, use Knuckles to be the big brute, move boulders and stuff like that. And I like it overall. There's some little mini games and side quests that you can do, but it's just not as ambitious as the Wii U version. And I think the Wii U version has the potential to be better, but the 3DS version, it lacks so many of the different things and aspects as far as, you know, full 3D and camera angles and stuff like that, and levels that the Wii U version is going to have. I'm more excited for the Wii U version, but the 3DS version is by far the more polished version at this point. But hopefully they can get both games up and running good. I think the 3DS version is better off right at this point, but if they can just work on the Wii U version, work on the camera angles a bit, because they still need to do that, work on the controls and tighten up that pacing and tighten up those controls and some combo variety, they can have a good game there, because like I said, the concepts are good. But overall, I'm a little bit lukewarm on it, but there's still plenty of time, so hopefully they can shore things up. Alright, that basically wraps it up for my preview here. Make sure you check out playeressence.com. There you'll find all the latest news, reviews, trailers, tips, and tricks, and tons of coverage of E3, so make sure you check that out. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here. We got plenty more E3 coverage coming up, so you'll see tons of videos going up. Trust me, you're going to love it here on PE Nintendo. And like the video if you did like it. Helps us spread our content around YouTube. Alright, once again, this was Francis, and we will see you guys for the next video. Peace.